Ed O'Keefe and Finn Gomez join us now. Ed is CBS News senior White House and political correspondent. Finn is CBS News' political director. In my conversations with those close to Governor Christie, it's been said to me that if there comes an endorsement, it will probably be after the Iowa caucuses to see, for example, just how well Nikki Haley does or doesn't do.
Right. Exactly.
And speaking about Nikki Haley, in that same CNN New Hampshire poll that I cited, she was within striking distance of Donald Trump, 7 points, right, Ed?
Yep.
Between her and the front runner. And if you look at those Christie netting 12 points in that poll, one would imagine that a lot of his support would be potentially going to Nikki Haley.
And that's why you've seen him now, Major, in the last few days, unleash another round of attack ads on New Hampshire airwaves, why he's been making baseless claims about her online, why he has been calling her out in his speeches here in Iowa last weekend. It was quite striking that in his first extended comments about the second defamation case from that author, E. Jean Carroll, for example, he went on a long screed denying the allegations and ended it by suggesting that one of the people helping E. Jean Carroll fund her legal effort is also someone who's been donating to Nikki Haley's super PAC, leaving that sort of pregnant pause in the room to suggest maybe Nikki Haley's behind my legal problems. I mean, that's how he is now trying to dissuade support for her among Republicans, or at least get his supporters riled up enough to start lashing out at her. Familiar, we've seen this many times before, but it's clear now he feels he's probably done enough to do away with Ron Desantis and has to stop Haley's rise in New Hampshire.
And it seems to me, gentlemen, worth pointing out to our audience that for most of this campaign, it has been radio silence from the Trump campaign vis-a-vis Nikki Haley. The occasional jab here and there, but nothing as consistent as we've seen in the last 48 hours. That tells me, as I'm sure it tells you, they're seeing something and they want to combat it as aggressively as they can.
Absolutely. And and also if you look, a great indicator, Major, is of course that big ad buy they purchased in New Hampshire, in the Granite State, attacking Nikki Haley. If you noticed in the last town hall that she had on CNN, there was this big social media attack essentially by the campaign, by Trump allies against Haley, which is also an indicator that they see her as a growing threat.
And in Iowa, Chris Christie was not a factor. He's never tried to be a factor. He's not going to change the conversation in Iowa. But in your sense of things, having been there for a couple of days, do you think that the anticipated sense that Republicans might have, well, Christie is out, that might mean something in New Hampshire, might, by coincidence or just by adding two together, help Haley in Iowa?
It could. It absolutely could, Major, especially based on the conversations we were having with voters who showed up at our event yesterday, as basic as that kind of reporting may seem, because they're looking for somebody other than Trump. They agree with the premise of Haley and Ron DeSantis' argument, which is if we go with Trump again, the whole year will be about January 6th, civil suits that he faces, allegations of harassment, the nasty things he's said about people. It won't be an opportunity to prosecute the case against President Biden. Or as Nikki Haley says, chaos follows him wherever he goes, and we can't afford 4 more years of chaos. If they see the field starting to dwindle down to these big 3, they might think, okay, I've seen the polling that suggests in a general election matchup, she's the only one right now that defeats President Biden. I see her starting to gain in New Hampshire. I see Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump being the only other options. I like her. Are there enough Haley-style, more mainstream, traditional conservative Republicans, however, in this state anymore? I don't think so, not based on what I've observed. They do exist in an open primary system in New Hampshire where independents and even Democrats can show up the day of and participate. But out here, where it's essentially a Republican or register that day to be a Republican kind of event, it would be harder for her to prevail. But look, 5 days, guys, as we know, is a long time. And we've always said, on this program especially, this election is poised to break late. Perhaps this is the beginning of that late breaking.
And also, it's worth having a conversation. We've talked about Trump. We've talked about Haley. We've talked about Christie. Let's dive in a bit on Desantis. This seems to me, the time between now and Monday, as important as any 5 days for the Desantis campaign. If anything is going to work, it needs to work now so he can surprise on the upside in Iowa, because all of the general conversation is DeSantis is down. The sense of energy and optimism around his campaign is flagging. He could come in third. It could be his undoing. What is your sense about DeSantis and the next 5 days?
But, Major, that's the conversation outside Iowa. You talk to Republicans here in Iowa, you'll see this in the coming days. Major, you'll see it in the coming days. And they'll say, DeSantis has built a formidable operation by way of his super PAC, Never Back Down, which has been doing this since the spring. They say they were knocking on doors. They were getting names and numbers. They have been taking commit to caucus cards, which give you all the contact information you need for somebody. And they point out there are more than 1,600 precincts across this state, more than 700 caucus sites. They have more than 1,500 precinct captains. They've got somebody to speak at just about every single caucus site. Who else probably does, based on what we've been told by his campaign? The former president. But it seems far more methodical, scientific, and surgical on the DeSantis side. And that is how Iowa caucuses have been won before, by Ted Cruz, by Rick Santorum, back in the day when it was a little different, by George W. Bush. So here in Iowa, people can see DeSantis has built a serious enough operation. Nobody, though, says he's going to win it, so it's just a question of how close could you get to the former president, or does something in the next few days that Haley's up to perhaps find her way to get close enough to them? But she doesn't have that kind of operation here.
Yeah, absolutely, and as you know, Major, and as Ed noted, it is about the grassroots operation here in the Hawkeye State. Iowans want to see their potential, their candidates. They want to see they want to meet and talk to them at diners and speak to them. And I think that you have seen, Ron DeSantis, he's done a full grass. He's gone to all 99 counties. They really are focusing on that part of this campaign. And also, as Ed noted, it's about expectations. I was big about expectations. If DeSantis does better than expected, or if Nikki Haley does better than expected, if she does a close third or even comes in second in Iowa, that could really propel her and give her some momentum going into New Hampshire, which we just talked about, is where she's showing very strongly in recent polling. But, I mean, it could also propel her down the line and through the cycle, potentially.
And, Ed, I want you to help our audience with a brief tutorial about how the caucus works, because you talked about precinct captains. Our audience should think about the caucus as kind of a caucus with a small straw poll inside of it, correct? Basically, you gather in designated areas. There's a brief speech by each representative for each campaign. Then people lay down their preference. Those numbers are collected. A result is therefore produced statewide. Do I have that just about right?
Yeah, you do. Well done. It's like you've done this before, Major. But that is what it is. It starts in these very small group settings. I was at a practice the other night of 40 Republicans who were rehearsing. And these 40 Republicans are set to go back to their precincts and run the caucuses. So they'll be joined by a dozen, 3 dozen more in their neighborhoods. They count them all up there. Paper ballot, right? Secret ballot, but paper. They turn it into somebody at the front of the room who counts them all up. Well, we got 40 of us here, 40 of us counted total. Here's our result. They phone that up to the county level, that reports it up to the state level, that then reports it to the world. But here's the other interesting thing. 3 million people in this state. Small state, comparatively, certainly to New Jersey and other big ones. 186,000 Republicans in this state participated in 2016, the last competitive one. That was only a third of registered Republicans in this tiny state of 3 million. So this incredibly small group of Americans has this incredibly outsized role in beginning the process of picking a president. And most of them tonight will see Chris Christie drop out and think nothing of it. It will have no effect on them here because he hasn't been playing here at all. So, we'll just have to wait and see. It is the most Byzantine way either party picks a presidential preference at this point. It's one that even Republicans concede may have to go away in the coming years because of pressure from the rest of the Republican Party to either do it differently or to not be first anymore. But it is something that requires, again, time, personnel, and lots of money to do it right. And the only two operations we've seen so far that have that are the Trump one and the Desantis one, with Haley showing up here hoping that the tailwinds from everywhere else in the country somehow give her some kind of last-minute boost here.
Yeah, and speaking to Haley sources, though, go ahead, Major.
No, go ahead, Finn. Go ahead.
No, I just speaking to Haley sources, they will argue, and they have said that even though they may not have that operation of some of her rivals, what they do have is they have Americans they have the Koch brothers operation. They have they were backed by AFP. She was backed by AFP. Americans for Prosperity. And they do have a ground operation here. Yes, it's not as big. It's not as large, perhaps, as Trump's or DeSantis's operations, but they believe that it's enough for them to potentially do well here on Monday night. Another factor that we haven't spoken about, but I know that you and the three of us have discussed before, is the weather here. Oh. It is freezing right now. It is so cold. However, on Monday, we're expecting it to be a high of -5, according to the Weather Channel. In speaking to some Trump sources, they believe that will only benefit them because they have the more ardent support, if you will, here in Iowa. He does lead by double digits, a very wide margin still. So for them, they believe that that fervent base that they have here will come out despite the weather, but it could dissuade some of the other rival support, if you will, on Monday.
Ed O'Keefe and Finn Gomez, thank you.